Governor, it is a great honor to be able to introduce you. So many reasons. You have shown tremendous leadership, courage, facility in developing the bipartisan support for our reimagining public higher education for the 21st century, for our ensuring that our Pennsylvania state system universities and our community colleges remain as the vital engine of economic development and social mobility that this Commonwealth needs now more than ever. Speaking specifically for our state system, you have not only been a great supporter of our continuing transformation, you've been a regular thought partner with me and with our board chair, Cindy Shapira. You know this. I'm in touch with the public system chancellors, actually with you, and state higher education executive officers across the country, and your engagement is not only widely admired, but is the envy of all, as it ought to be. But most importantly, it makes a huge difference. You inject your vital insight at strategic and tactical levels and pave the way for us to continually improve and expand what we do for our students. So I thank you for that. Arguably the biggest remaining challenge in Pennsylvania's public higher education is its cost to our students. We're pricing too many of post-secondary education out of post-secondary education and the opportunities it provides. Without addressing this issue, we will be unable to continue producing incredible leaders like Jordan Harris, who I believe went to Millersville University. 60% of jobs today require someone in them with post-secondary education. 51% of Pennsylvanians have it. That's a huge gap. It's growing. It threatens our economy. And directive student funding is a massive and powerful tool in eliminating this highest and most rigid barrier. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you very much. It's actually my pleasure. I think Chancellor Greenstein has done an amazing job in the years he's been here, and I think the transformation, I was going to say turnaround, but it's really transformation of the state system is due in no small part to his leadership, his incredible, innovative leadership that is leading us to think very differently about the state system than we ever thought about it before. And I think the bringing together of community colleges and the state system university in the Nellie Bly scholarship program is a really good example of that. And I think we're in a position where we can think expansively about what we're going to do. And this is important, and we just talked about it yesterday. The big increase in jobs that we know are coming to Pennsylvania as a result of the Infrastructure Improvement and Jobs Act, along with just the natural demand, increase in demand for workers that you see evidence of everywhere, means that we have to make sure that we're doing our job in producing and supplying the skills that this economy, this growing and expanding economy, really needs. And Pennsylvania is in an enviable position in that regard. We have some of the greatest universities and community colleges, including HAC, in the world. And right here in Pennsylvania, people come in. I think we have the second or third highest number of seats in post-secondary education of any state in the United States. And in this environment, this is really important because they have what the world needs, and that is they're a source of skills, a source of training. So people are going to come to Pennsylvania, as they always have, to learn, but they're not going to have to leave Pennsylvania to actually employ those skills. And I think that's a really big opportunity for all of us. And we have the financial capacity to actually support our educational institutions in selective ways to make sure that we do a good job here. So we're doing a lot of good things. The timing is right, but we have to take advantage of this. We have to make sure that as Chancellor Greenstein said, that we address the barriers that still stand in the way of Pennsylvanians getting the skills, getting to training, getting the education that they need. And the biggest, one of the biggest, is the lack of college affordability. When it comes to actually pursuing a higher education, skyrocketing costs are putting that dream out of reach for too many people. The average debt for Pennsylvania students is now $39,000. Think about that. That's more than the cost of a new car. That's more than the cost of a down payment on a new home. This is money our young Pennsylvanians could be putting back into their lives. And by the way, they'd be putting it back into our economy. But instead, the heavy weight of debt holds them back. It holds us back too. Pennsylvanians are hurting under the weight of this debt, and for many students and families struggling from the pandemic, the prospect of debt keeps them from pursuing the higher education they dream of, and that is just wrong for all of us. We need Pennsylvanians to be well educated, not only because we support the dreams of our students, we do, but because well-educated Commonwealth is a stronger Commonwealth. It's better for all of us. I want to provide more opportunities for Pennsylvanians to get a college education without the overwhelming debt. And I want to do it in a way that actually encourages them to stay in Pennsylvania, to deploy, use those talents that they got here, use them here. So that's why, once again, I'm proposing the Nellie Bly Scholarship Program. This is a needs-based tuition program that's going to help students attending community colleges this year. We expanded to include community colleges, as well as one of our 14 state universities cover the real costs of education. That means not just tuition, but room and board, books, supplies, graduation expenses. The program is going to focus on students pursuing degrees in fields where there is a high need for workers, including fields facing shortages related to the pandemic, like healthcare, like education, public service. In exchange, all we're asking that students simply stay in Pennsylvania. This is a huge investment in our students, but it's more than that. It's really an investment in the future of Pennsylvania. If we make college more affordable, we're going to help Pennsylvania. We're going to help our economy. We're going to help everybody. And that's really important. Right now, because of where we are, we have the financial resources to do this. So it's past time that we took action. We don't just want to talk about addressing the student debt issue. We want to do something. If we invest in our students, we're going to build the brighter future that we deserve for all of us. Now's the time to make that investment. We have it. We ought to do it. Now, I'm really proud to turn this over to the president and CEO of Harrisburg Community College, HACC, Ski Sadelsky. Good to see you, Ski.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Governor. And I do want to thank you for your support of community colleges, especially over your terms. I also want to thank Dr. Greenstein. He has been an outstanding partner to work with. And I want to thank our legislator, Representative Patty Kim, for her support of her favorite community college. So I do want to thank you, and I want to thank you for allowing HACC to be here today to be able to support you and support our need for the Nellie Bly Scholarship Program. As you may know, there are so many of our students and PASHE students who will benefit from this. It is truly going to change the trajectory of the lives of thousands of economically disadvantaged individual students. So those that attend any one of our 5 campuses or even the 14 campuses of our PASHE schools. By removing this burden of debt through this program, I believe that there are maybe 5 benefits, at least 5 benefits. It could allow our students to focus on their studies and complete their educational goals. The second area is it could relieve the added burden of debt that's a detriment to so many who are trying to achieve the dream of a higher education for themselves and a betterment for their families. It could increase, is the third point, it could increase enrollment and completion, not only at HACC, but at the PASHE colleges. And it would guarantee our workforce remains competitive, as the governor said, to remain competitive not only in the state, but also in our country and internationally. And finally, it could give HACC and PASHE graduates in key occupational areas, such as education, healthcare, public service, it could give them an incentive not only to stay here in Pennsylvania, but it would also allow them to take on the jobs from our aging workforce and those that have left us through the mass resignations that we've experienced. So, Governor, we at HACC are very, very excited about this opportunity to work with our colleagues at PASHE as well. I now have the honor and the privilege to introduce one of HACC's own. This gentleman is Kellen Johnson. He is a student. He'll be graduating in May from HACC in the Paralegal Studies program. He'll be moving on, considering a 4-year opportunity. And he is the father of 2 young children who will be HACC students eventually. And he is working at a financial facility here in town. And we are just delighted that he could be here today to talk about what this program could mean to him or others at the college, at HAC, or in the PASHE systems. So, Mr. Johnson.
Dr. Ski over here.
Thank you, Dr. Ski, for that introduction. I'm excited to be here, and you definitely introduced me very well here. I'm excited to speak on behalf of the student body at HAC. A lot of what I experience, can be felt by a lot of others and many students across the state, actually. I can attest that a lot of our experiences, are challenging throughout the year on a daily basis. The majority of our students and classmates that I have, we're parents. We are, we have full-time jobs and careers. So we have a lot of pressures under us. And, regardless of what your circumstances are, any individual should be able to just focus on, the studies throughout the year. So, many of us as students, we're looking here for personal growth. The furthest concern for us should be, how are we going to pay for college? How are we going to afford books? How are we going to, afford laptops and computers and other items that, expenses that come up on a regular basis? Myself, I've had multiple experiences where I've had to use a credit card or, accrue various debts just for, miscellaneous books that might cost anywhere from, $1,000 to $1,000 per year. So that really adds up, and, it's really meaningful for a student. And, some of those struggles just, add a lot of weight to us. So, considering that a lot of my students and a lot of my classmates also have housing issues to be concerned with. There's also, a fight for hunger for some of our students. And they really, just kind of wonder where that next, help or assistance might come in at. So, one of the other things that I wanted to touch on, a lot of our students, come to Zoom classes with cell phones. A lot of our students don't have, particular laptops or computers. So, just extra funding for some of our students really goes a long way. So I really wanted to kind of drive that home. For this reason, it's great that HAC exists in our community, for many reasons. And, they're a community college that actually benefits us, and it's affordable, and, it's just really something that's, tremendous for us to have in our local community right here in our backyard. It's vital also to have our elected officials to be here to support us and, go through this journey with us and, find other funding that, normally isn't there. So, I wanted to thank Governor Wolf here, for this exciting news, this exciting piece of, potential legislative material that could pass and could help many of students like myself. So thank you, Governor Wolf. I appreciate that. And, a lot of this could help us focus on other things that actually truly matter, like homework assignments and, studying for exams, things that really are important to us. It takes that ease off of us. So, this is great. So, again, thank you, Dr. Ski, for being a great partner. Thank you, HAC, for being a great partner as well. And, I look forward to what's coming in the future. Thank you, guys.
Good morning. I'm State Representative Jordan Harris, 186th District, but also member of the Council of Trustees at Millersville University, and proud 2006, seems so long ago now, proud 2006 graduate of Millersville. I'm so pleased and honored to be here with the governor, our higher ed executives, our student here, and my colleague to talk about this reintroduction of such an important funding priority for this Commonwealth, right? You can't tell young people that education is the elevator to success, and then give them a broken elevator. You have to give them the tools to be successful. What I know is that the community college system and the state system, higher education here in Pennsylvania, are the elevators to success for many of our young people. For many of our young people from poor families and working class families like my own. My grandmother was a mother of 3 children when she made the decision that she would go to Community College of Philadelphia and get a degree in early childhood education. She then went on and got a 4-year degree and was a school teacher for 32 years. Just the fact that my grandmother, who was living in the projects in South Philadelphia with 3 children on her own, because she got that degree, it changed the trajectory of our entire family. My mother went on and got a degree. I went on and I got 2 degrees, and hopefully, when God blesses me with children, they'll go on and they'll do the same. It changes the trajectory. So what we're talking about here is a serious investment in the future of Pennsylvania and Pennsylvanians. Because when you talk about how do you bring people out of poverty, you bring them out of poverty by giving them the tools to be successful, and those tools are in the education space. So what is being proposed here is about the community college system, is about the state system, but it's also about retaining those young people and helping us as a Commonwealth deal with brain drain and keeping those young people here so that we as a Commonwealth benefit from their knowledge, from their energy, and quite honestly, from their resources. So we're making an investment here. Now, we've introduced this before and didn't get done. But here's the thing. Now there's no need to complain because the resources are available. So this is no longer about do we have the money to do it, it's do we have the will to do it. Do we have the will to do it? So, as a proud alum of Millersville University, as a current member of the Council of Trustees, I can tell you that this will change how Pennsylvanians view higher education, because there are far too many young people who have the skill, who have the talent, who have done the work. But then when they get their financial aid packet, they see that the dream for them is again deferred. We must make sure that we provide all of our young people with dream catchers. Dream catchers. And that's exactly what this could be. So I'm grateful to be here, and I'll turn it over to my friend, colleague, and classmate, the state representative for this area, Representative Patty Kim.
Thank you, Whip Harris, and thank you, Governor Wolf, for allowing me to say a couple of words. Governor Wolf presented his best budget for last. This is a good budget with a lot of good things in it, and then specifically 2 things. Whenever I go to a restaurant, I love to talk to the servers, talk about their stories. Maybe I'm nosy, I don't know what it is, but I like to know them. And 9 out of 10 times, they are working $2.13 an hour to pay their way to college. They are working weekends on their feet so that they can make the money to get a higher education. And it hurts me to see that it's almost like spinning their wheels because they can't get ahead. So Governor Wolf has presented in his last budget a higher minimum wage, that these servers will be making $12 an hour and have an opportunity to help pay their way to these high-need occupations. I am grateful for Governor Wolf and seeing the big picture and what we need right now in such a timely fashion. It takes a special person to be a teacher. Not anyone can do it. It takes a special person with a good heart to be a nurse, to be a healthcare worker. We need to capture these special people, give them the resources and the tools so that we can fill in and reverse the Great Resignation. This is so timely, and Whip Harris and I will do everything that we can to make sure that this stays in the budget, the higher minimum wage, the $200 million for the Nellie Bly scholarship, because we need it, and this is what Pennsylvanians can do to grow and to be better and to get out of this pandemic and grow our economy. So Governor Wolf, thank you so much, and I'm going to bring you back to the podium to say a few words.
Thank you. So thank you, everybody. Thank you again for being here, and Ski and Dan, thank you for, Chancellor, thank you for actually creating and improving the resources we have here in Pennsylvania to make sure our economy hits on all cylinders, and the way we do that is to make sure we give our citizens the opportunities they need. We need them to have to take advantage of what you have to offer. Are there any questions for any of us? Seeing none, thank you very much. Thank you again.